Hi, Melisanti. So you are from Greece. Where are you from exactly?
I'm from Athens.
Okay.
I'm based here 3 years now. I used to live in the UK and I'm finally back home. It's nice to be back, especially during this time. I'm glad I wouldn't want to be anywhere else at the moment.
Okay, so can you tell us about the situation of the epidemic in your country?
We're quite lucky compared to the other countries because the government decided to do the lockdown much earlier, so there were not many casualties, and we took I think we were isolated for at least like 5 weeks, and this is the first week that everything is working. Everything is back on the new normal. So I got to see my friends and closer members to the family, but it's quite hard because like you have to adjust to the new normalities now, like be very careful. You cannot hug people anymore, which is very frustrating when you see your loved ones and you know you cannot do this anymore. But yeah, a lot of things are we're still waiting. I'm not back to work yet, so I'm focusing on my own projects. But it's quite hard. Like you don't feel free anymore to do what you used to do before.
What are the quarantine rules or the rules to go out in the street?
Now we can, but before we had to send a message to there was like a government number that you had to send the message where you're going, because you're allowed to go out for a specific amount of time, and you had to explain if it's for food, if it's for the pharmacy, for doctor, or maybe for a short walk. So you were not allowed to go to like wide distances. It was only like closer to your home. And it was very frustrating because you suddenly feel you can't walk freely on the street, and it was a bit scary because you feel like someone is watching you or someone's gonna check on you. And there was a fine. So if you got caught walking without a reason, you would pay 150 euros. So it was very scary to think this would keep going for a while. But now things are getting much better, and I hope the virus doesn't spread. We're hoping things, there's a vaccination or something good happens very soon.
Okay. How do you feel during this time?
I was very lonely and isolated. I was really scared to see my family because both my parents are quite old, and my mom also, she has cancer. So I was super careful. And I knew I didn't want to, I would see them for maybe 5-10 minutes just to check on them during the day. But then I didn't want to stay with them at all, just in case, because we're young, and if you have the virus, you don't know about it. So you get a bit paranoid that something bad is going to happen. But at least I got some time to spend in my flat, organize it, be a bit more mindful, make it nice for me, and create a nice, warm and cozy environment. So at least, you have some alone time, and you can be a bit positive about it instead of panic, and maybe read a book, do some sewing, hand sewing. And I think now my flat is quite nice actually, which is good. So focused on that, but it got a bit crazy at some point. I think all of us feel the same.
What are the consequences on your professional activity?
Well, the first is I haven't been to work for 2 months now. We do a lot of Skype calls, but it's not the same, especially with designing a whole collection. Like you need to be there, you need to check the fabrics and everything. So everything has been on hold. And that's the main problem. We don't know what's going on with the fashion industry. But I think at the same time, maybe it is time for a reset of things, and maybe things should go a bit slower. But we're still not back to normal, so I'm still waiting to see when I'm going back. But yeah, we got a salary decrease, so now we get like a pension from the government. So we lost quite a few, like a big amount of money. And especially financially, it's very difficult times for everyone, because every time there is a crisis, things don't necessarily go back to the previous normal. So I'm afraid there's going to be a salary decrease permanently. And also a lot of my projects that I'm doing, especially with my own ideas for Maison Mode Méditerranée, this has been delayed. Obviously, I'm not gonna be in Marseille in June, so which is the same. I was really excited to visit, and also Manifesta. I really wanted to see Manifesta. So this got delayed, but at least we can Skype and arrange the mentoring from long distance. So now I get to speak with Ali Rakib, my coach, and we're trying to organize all the different mentors and specialists to help us. But of course, it's much harder. It's better to have like physical communication as well. It's hard to do everything through a screen. And also a lot of projects that were related to starting up this idea got delayed, but slowly everything starts working, but everything happens through a screen now, which is very sad. But hopefully next year I come to visit. I really want to visit Marseille. And yeah, we just need to be patient, but I'm still hopeful things will change, and I get to visit and carry on with the ideas I had, because just because of the virus doesn't mean this need for setting up this project has changed. But of course, people are gonna be more strict with the decisions they make, and I think everyone is going to when they decide to maybe go visit a country or start a new project, they're gonna be like 100% sure before doing it, whereas before you wouldn't have to overthink everything. So let's see. Yeah.
Thank you, Melisenti, for your record and all your and for sharing your experience.